At least 2 local communities are hoping to balance the needs of local businesses and public safety without targeting people experiencing homelessness. Lawmakers in Tacoma voted yes on an ordinance that would expand the zones that prohibit public camping. In Everett, the council is considering extending an existing ordinance that's set to expire at the end of the year. Fox 13's Jennifer Dowling is following those developments and is joining us from the newsroom with more.
Sabira, the Everett City Council tabled the vote on renewing a controversial law that some community advocates say unfairly targets its most vulnerable people. Everett's no sit, no lie law was passed in 2023. It will expire on December 31st if the council fails to pass a new resolution. Today, lawmakers heard from neighbors who expressed support for the so-called buffer zones. They also heard from others who say it criminalizes being unhoused and forces people further away from resources. The new ordinance would extend the existing buffer zones. Additionally, it will require the city to provide annual data from law enforcement and outreach providers on how well the program is working.
A lot of people want the police to go get those people out of the bushes and out of the grass and out of their tents, and there's still nowhere to go.
This is not meant to cure homelessness. It is meant to address the conditions in some of these areas that are helping us enable the businesses operating that are providing the tax revenue, the services that we need for our city.
This comes just hours after the Tacoma City Council voted to expand its restrictions on where people experiencing homelessness can set up camp. Camping will now be prohibited within 2 blocks of public schools, K through 12 in Tacoma, libraries, parks, and within 10 blocks of temporary shelters downtown, and within 5 blocks of temporary shelters outside the downtown area. The ordinance comes during a growing shortage of shelter beds. The number of spaces has dropped by nearly 20% this year. That's according to the county's annual point-in-time survey. Last night, several community members expressed concerns over the ordinance.
The city's camping bans have created excessive barriers to accessing care by scattering the population at risk.
I hear that some folks complain about encampments. It's hard to be reminded of your privilege and how tenuous every currently housed person's situation is, but that does not mean that we should make life harder for people living outside. That is the definition of punching down.
Since 2023, the number of people living outside in Pierce County has grown from about 2,100 to just under 3,000, according to the newest data from 2025. Under the new ordinance, violations could result in a $250 fine or up to 30 days in jail. Proponents of the ban say this is a public safety issue. The sponsor of the ordinance, Councilmember John Hines, says in part what works is getting people into shelter where they have services and housing and making sure schools, parks, and libraries are free and open to the public. Everett's council tabled the vote, but is expected to hold a vote in the coming weeks. According to the council administrator, that could come as soon as November 5th. Back to you.